So we're getting to the very end of our Sync Academy Awards contest. If you have not submitted a track yet and you wanted to earn potentially cash prizes for the top 3 most licensable tracks, I'll put a link in the description box below. The deadline is January 1st. You have literally just a few days here, and I will be selecting 3 winners and posting them to this channel on January 2nd, the very next day. So get your tracks to me again, 1 track per member. All the instructions are in the link below, so go ahead and click there and you can learn more about how to submit your track, and make sure you follow the contest rules and the guidelines for how to make sure that you do get your track considered. And I will be reviewing the top 3 tracks. But in this video, I want to give you guys sort of a special sneak peek at what's happening with Sync Academy. So the Sync Academy Awards contest is essentially how I'm launching my Sync Academy platform. The Sync Academy platform, if you're not aware, is going to be an online platform that's going to host over 100 hours of tutorials, walking you through all of the aspects of how to deliver licensable music to the TV film licensing business. Now, there are plenty of courses, mixing courses, producing courses that you can find online. Tons of them, right? Many different producers and mixing engineers teach all sorts of aspects of this stuff. But what you won't find online is an entire platform that will give you the complete A to Z, a one-stop shop for how to make licensable music specifically for the TV film world, right? To make sure that you get accepted by music libraries, but not only just to get accepted, but also get your tracks flying off of their shelves into TV shows, reality shows, promos, commercials, trailers, everything like that, okay? So every single tutorial that I put together in this platform is designed specifically to help you achieve that one specific goal. A, get you accepted by music libraries, and also B, make sure your tracks fly off the competition over all the other producers' tracks that are in those catalogs, okay? So what I want to give you right now is a special early access sneak peek to what the Sync Academy platform looks like, what kind of tutorials are included in it. Now, I've only given early access to Sync Edge members. So if you're a Sync Edge member, look out for an email. I sent it to you a couple of days ago to give you early access if you wanted to. But for everybody else, this will be available for you on January 2nd, okay? So a couple of days from now. But this is what it looks like when you get on the inside. So you actually will have access to specific and categorized tutorials that I'll walk you through every licensable style of music that I feel is the best type of use of music for your career, okay? Obviously, there are experimental, new age, kind of far out there styles that you can go with, but I do feel that these categories and these genres that I've included with the Sync Academy tutorials are the most licensable. That's why I feel these are the ones you really should start to get good at least start to hone in on 1 or maybe 2 of them in the beginning. Down the road in your career, you can start to get a little bit more nuanced with other genres, but I do really highly encourage you to stick with 1 or maybe 2 genres in the beginning. But when you get in, you're going to see that there's all these different specialized tutorials sort of broken down for you. The first one is music licensing basics. So these are sort of my go-tos, must-have skills that every producer, no matter what style of music you're producing, needs to have down. You got to have this stuff down. And these are some of those sort of hidden or secret skills that a lot of producers don't even know that you need to know about. You wouldn't actually know about this stuff until you got into the business, but I've been in it for over 10 years now. So this is the kind of stuff that I've mastered and I've really gotten down, and I want to give you my sort of golden rules to make sure that you get this stuff right, okay? Starting off with how to name your tracks. Think about it. When you put your tracks into a catalog, the title of your track is the only thing that a library supervisor, a music supervisor, an ad agency, an editor, somebody who's going through a bunch of tracks, that's the first thing that they're going to see about your tracks. So do you know how to title your tracks to make sure that you jump off the shelf, so to speak, so that your track doesn't seem boring or uninteresting or kind of vague or generic or just, you know, not really interesting enough for them to click play on it. Again, this is marketing and sales 101. If you're not there to pitch your music to people, you got to make sure that the title of your track is doing that job for you. So we walk you through how to do that. I show you some examples of my tracks that I've had distributed into the licensing world and into the business, so you can see why I sort of practice what I preach, and I do follow my own rules here of licensable tracks. How to avoid too much looping, crafting interesting, memorable leads, quantizing drums, making sure that you're not having timing issues. It's a really common issue actually with a lot of producers that I've heard. Creating interest throughout a track, okay? Getting your track loud enough. That's a really common one. Hey, Jesse, how do you make sure that your track is actually on par with the professionals out there? Well, here is my sort of golden rules, my golden standards to make sure you do that. Minimal cues, how to overcome writer's block, Creating alt mixes and cut downs, you need to know that stuff. Delivering stems, should you do them mastered, unmastered, how to make sure you deliver those. Metadata, a really important concept that a lot of producers they have no idea how to make sure they're delivering quality and useful metadata, okay? And making sure that you're not trying to, well, I'll give them all this metadata so that my track shows up in every single search that somebody wants. That actually is going to work against your career. You need to create very specific and niche down metadata. So I show you how to do that here. Creating build-ups, analyzing a reference track, making sure you understand if somebody says, hey, make me a track like this, do you know how to analyze that track to make sure that you get close to them without stepping on their toes, committing copyright infringement, right? That kind of stuff. Including some really cool chats that I've had with other members and other students that are in this industry as well. So a lot of really valuable stuff just within this first little segment here of music licensing basics here. Also, as you go through, you're going to find out if you click on hip hop, let's say you're a hip hop producer, you're going to find a complete walkthrough of how do you start a track. Like if you have a blank session in front of you, how do you get this thing going? So we have other producers and myself telling you, this is how in the hip hop world I would start a track, or these are some of the inspirations or the sound packs or the sort of approaches that I would take if you're kind of hitting writer's block and you don't know how to get started. How do you craft a structure for hip hop? How do you create that interest to move it along so it's not too loopy and stagnant? How do you mix it specifically for hip hop? Okay, each genre has its own specific mixing, mastering, and producing series. So it's all very niche down specific information, not just a general. How do you mix a track? Well, that's kind of useful, but it's more interesting and more useful if I say, here's a hip hop track. What do you need to make sure that you're really driving home in your mix and in your master with a hip hop track specifically for TV film licensing business? So I think you're seeing now why this stuff is extremely specialized and very unique. You're not going to find this content anywhere else online. Mastering, creating the alts, the cut downs for hip hop. We have a 90s hip hop track walkthrough. That's one that I did, a trap hip hop. Sort of hybrid one, creating epic chord progressions, creating modern synth sounds, all that stuff is specialized to hip hop. Again, same thing goes for rock. You can go all the way through, and we have this entire platform designed to show you the sort of entire A to Z step through of all that kind of stuff. Every other type of a licensable genre is included here, so as you can see here. Also, my producing, mixing, and mastering course is going to be now included with the Sync Academy, okay? So some of you guys maybe have heard about this, but this is my basically complete walkthrough series where I show you how I use nothing but sounds that come with Logic Pro 10, okay? No external plugins, nothing like that. So this is all stock stuff that you can get directly with Logic Pro 10 if you're a Logic producer. And I walk you through how I produce it, mix it, master it, and create all the finals. And each one of these actually has its own series of really in-depth tutorials. You can see this is a lot of content. Like I said, over 100 hours worth of stuff here. So within each one of these sort of categories here, you're going to find dozens and dozens of tutorials. And the best part about it is that every single month, I'm actually going to be adding to this library of tutorials. So I'm going to be getting feedback from current members, asking you guys, what do you want to learn? What do you want to be added for the next month's new licensing tutorials? And boom, we're going to deliver it to you guys every single month so that the wealth of knowledge that you get being a part of this platform is going to grow exponentially as time goes on. So it's really exciting, really cool. And probably the best part about this platform is not just these awesome tutorials you're going to get instant access to, but also you get to join an online platform. It's a private social media platform, okay? It's not Facebook, it's not Instagram, it's not any of those other platforms that might be a little bit distracting and you kind of go down the wormhole of following posts and all that stuff. But this is going to keep you focused, energized, motivated, educated, okay? You can collaborate, you can connect with other producers that are specifically trying to succeed with TV, film, music licensing, okay? So you can share your experiences, you can get the perspective of other experiences. If you want to collaborate, you want to sort of maybe do some co-writes with somebody, you're looking for a guitar player to bring on board, you want a vocalist to work with, this is the platform for you to work with people who are specifically looking to get accepted by music libraries and build this into a full-time income stream for themselves, okay? I can't tell you how powerful and necessary that is for your success. If you don't have a community that you're a part of that's encouraging and motivated and positive, and most importantly, keeping you focused, right? There's a lot of music forums, there's a lot of online social media places where you can connect with people. How often does it turn into, you know, rumors and bashing and trash talking and negativity? It seems like any of the ones that I've ever been a part of or seen turns into that stuff fairly quickly. Or it turns into a spam fest where it's just nothing but people trying to sell you their services and products, and sort of the valuable content gets weeded out and the whole platform starts to suffer, okay? Not happening here with Sync Academy. This is going to be 100% focused and 100% tailored to you becoming more educated, more motivated, and more secure with your skills and knowledge for how to deliver licensable music to TV, film, music libraries, right? That's the ultimate goal of all of this that's coming your way very shortly. Again, January 2nd. That is the magical day. That's the day when all of you guys can jump on board and join this really powerful platform. So I'm really excited to unveil it for you. I wanted to give you just a little sneak peek today to show you what's coming. I've already had actually quite a bit of Sync Edge members that have joined. I was really surprised actually the need and the desire from many of you Sync Edge members. So thank you guys for jumping on board early. I know you guys are going to absolutely love your first couple of weeks here before everybody gets access to it. And it's going to get stronger and stronger every single month. As I said, new tutorials, new videos are going to be added to this every single month. So it's absolutely powerful. And I do believe that being a part of this really cool community and really positive community is going to make that difference for some of you that maybe feel like you're on your own. You're producing music in your home studio. Not a lot of people around you understand what you're going through and what it's like to try to make this your full-time job. Trust me, I totally relate to that. That's how I was when I first got started. I had very few, not much of a support system around me to help encouraging me and getting me back on the horse, because sometimes, let's face it, we don't want to make music. We're not motivated. We're not feeling it, every single day. It'd be great if we did, but we're all human beings. But when you have a platform like this, you can log in every single day. It can be the first thing you do when you wake up. You just log in, get educated, get motivated, and become inspired to start creating licensable music so that you hit your goals, right? To get to that long-term, that ultimate goal of full-time income, you got to start with the short-term goals, right? Which means this week, how many tracks do I need to produce? Try to get to 2 to 3. I do recommend that's what your goal should be, at least 2 to 3 every week. This platform can absolutely start to get you on that path if you're feeling like you're not hitting those goals. The only way to get to that long-term goal, full-time income, is you got to get to the short-term goals. And again, getting past those moments of doubt, frustration, depression, not feeling motivated. This is what I've designed all of this for. Again, everything that I do, every service, every product, everything that I've ever offered you guys is to get you results, all right? And the results first come in the form of your productivity, okay? It does take time, as you guys know, to earn those passive back-end royalties from ASCAP and BMI and to earn sync fees and all that good stuff. But in order to even get to all the riches, to get to that ultimate goal, your results now need to come in your day-to-day life. You need to start seeing those results in your productivity. So every skill, every tip or secret or production technique that's shared here, mixing technique, right? All those things, they're all designed to start putting better habits into your daily workflow so that you're not wasting time making a bunch of music that you think is good, and then when you send it to a library, it gets rejected, gets ignored, or even if it gets accepted, it sits on the shelf and it doesn't get placed, right? Well, I know all of that because that's what I did in the beginning of my first couple of years of my career. Made music that I thought was cool and I was excited about it, but probably 5 to 10% of the early music that I placed ever got any placements at all. Most of it sat on the shelf, didn't do anything. Eats me alive right now, knowing that I spent probably the first 2 years of this industry doing it the wrong way, not knowing what I was doing, just taking a stab in the dark, hoping something stuck. It doesn't have to be that mysterious or crazy for you, okay? You don't have to reinvent the wheel here. What I'm doing with this platform is giving you my golden rules. I've definitely made all the mistakes, corrected all the errors, and now I've set myself on a path that every track that I do is useful and licensable to my library partners, okay? And I want to share all this information with you. And again, you can only find this kind of stuff with Sync Academy. So stay tuned. All that's coming your way very shortly.